Welcome to this edition of Cautionary Tales from the Red Chair, brought to you by Jake and Sam. This episode was recorded on May 8th, 2013. This episode is brought to you by Yvette's Yoga Studio.
Do you like to masturbate with your feet? Who doesn't? What do you mean you can't do it? Then you better come down to Yvette's Yoga Studio. With our specialized program, we guarantee that you'll be flexible enough to masturbate with your feet within 3 months or your money back. Results may vary with participation. Not responsible for heel herpes, mat foot, or athlete's crotch. Visit us at www.footjackoff.org.
Crap load of those jalapeno poppers in my fridge that the girlfriend made for me for my birthday.
No.
She doesn't even eat spicy food. I don't know why she made so many of them. They're delicious because they're like pastry puff that she wrapped in like jalapeno with cream cheese and bacon stuffing. Or yeah, it was like cream cheese. All that shit. The fucking funniest part though is when we're making it, she's like, "Hey, do you have any rubber gloves?" I'm like, no. Why would you need rubber gloves? She's like, well, I'm going to cut up all these jalapenos. So I was just like, well, I'll just do it. Don't worry.
Just don't rub your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, I knew that, you know. So I just go, sitting there, I cut up all the jalapenos. You know, just kind of like weird. I've never...
Don't tell me you went to the bathroom after.
No, not at all. So, whatever. She makes them for me. I cut them all up. We do whatever. Later that evening, we start fooling around. Start diddling her a little bit. All of a sudden, she's like... oh my God, what's that? It feels really warm. And I'm like, oh shit, I totally forgot. And she just goes, oh my God, it's starting to burn. I completely, we both did. She's even like, oh my God, that's such a weird sensation. So she has like, so my nickname for her now is Jalapeno Hole.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
I mean, I washed my hands like 5 times between when I did it and then when we actually went to bed that night. And neither of us even thought about it. A little bit of foreplay, and all of a sudden she's like, something feels weird.
That is grand.
So Jalapeno Hole is her new nickname, just so you know. Oh.
Can I just call her JH?
JH, yes, you should. Well, then, because then you don't have to do so much explaining.
Yep.
Because you don't want your wife to be like, why do you call her Jalapeno Hole? Well, let me tell you what.
Yep. Listen to the pod.
Yeah, listen to the pod. Oh shit, she might listen to this too. Fuck it, whatever. I call her Jalapeno Hole.
Oh. I can't get over that. That's pretty good. That's 10 times better than Murphy.
Oh, yeah. Murphy's Law. That is your wife, though.
Yeah, just to let you know, yeah. I call my wife Murphy because of Murphy's Law.
Yes. She is like that. She proved that this evening as well.
Yes, she did.
Side story. Sorry. I know you want to get into that on the pod.
Not at this time.
Still a little too fresh.
I might laugh about it someday,
yes,
but right now I'm just laughing at myself at that.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh, that is great. So fucking, we went to the, Iowa for the wedding.
Yep.
Crazy thing that I should have gotten pulled over like 12 times because for
Staring at barns falling down?
No, but because for some reason, their intersections, I'm not sure if this is everywhere, but definitely they're county roads, and then there's, small towns like when you're going on the highways or whatever the fuck they call those. Mm-hmm. There's no...
The 2 lanes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but when they come to an intersection, what's weird is it's not like a straight cross intersection. They make like the diamond intersection. You know how we have it here where you can go off to the right and yield and do that? They have that, to go off to the right, the on-ramp type kind of merge lane. Mm-hmm. But instead of here where it's a yield sign, there's a stop sign there. So I'm driving through, and I keep taking these right turns, and I'm just driving right through all these fucking stop signs. And finally she's like, why aren't you stopping any of these? I'm like, oh, see?
Yields.
Yeah, in Minnesota, they're yield signs. I'm just like, this is so weird. Just the little differences from like when you go from state to state. It's just so strange.
Except for in Florida. I have never been someplace driving that basically a red light is almost like if you wanna.
Oh, really? I've never driven in Florida. Well, I suppose we did, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when we went down there to
drive your grandparents' car back.
Yeah, we kind of drove through Florida, not much.
Well, I did. At least the top part of it. But
Yeah.
I drove down there a couple of times before, and it's literally, in most parts of Florida, like, the red light is kind of a suggestion. Like, as soon as the light turns red, you got about 5 or 6 seconds before somebody else might go through it.
Yeah.
I seriously started, like, when the light turns green and you're sitting there at the light, as it turned green, I started looking both ways like it was a stop sign still.
Because somebody's just running it or what?
Well, yeah. It, like I said, it almost seemed like it's a suggestion when it turns red. Like, you might want to think about stopping pretty soon.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, they use the red like most people use the yellow. Caution, it's going to turn red, and they go, it just turned red. It's still fair game.
That's so funny.
Like, no, officer, both the lights were on. I just didn't. Yeah, I never understood that one, but well.
Fucking Florida's just a fucked up state, though, from top to bottom, I think. Because you always, whenever you go and, like, check out weird news or fucking, whenever some crazy story happens, it always seems to happen in Florida. Like, a fucking dude ate up by a sinkhole.
Yep.
That's Florida. Man, Florida's, I don't think I'd ever want to live to Florida. That's like hell's taint to me. All musty and humid.
To me, that's Africa. And I'm not saying
Africa's
that
hell's taint.
I'm just
racist.
Saying, I'm just saying, man.
Racist.
Everything in Africa wants to kill you.
Yeah, same with Australia.
But there's a lot more open land in Australia than there is in Africa. Like, in Africa, everything is out to kill you. Like, everything is out to kill you.
Even the Africans.
Well, probably. But I'm just saying. I just don't understand why anybody would want to live at a place that you are probably like the middle of the food chain at this point. Cause
well, that's why they all hopped on the boats and came over to America.
And there's that.
There's that. Sorry.
Well, thanks and good night.
Yep. You need to get used to that. I sacrifice tastes for humor always. Always.
No, I literally am. I'm just scared to be a place where everything wants to kill you. Like, even the plant eaters want to kill you.
Even the herbivores.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking take a bite out of you.
I mean, you look at the water buffalo and shit like that.
Oh,
They'll fucking
that's
just
legit.
plow you down. Like a rhino, he'll just run your ass over. Like, everything wants to kill you.
Are hippos omnivores or are they herbivores?
No. They're herbivores.
They are?
And they cause more fatalities than any other animal.
Really?
Every year. Like, more than crocs, more than lions. Every year, hippos kill more people. Just because they're incredibly territorial.
Oh, yeah,
so they'll tip canoes and then fucking chomp people when they come in the water. And not kidding you. They'll gore them with their huge teeth. So they just bite down and basically you're dead.
Yeah, and I suppose it helps that they're, most people don't think of them as, that.
Well, they look too fat to be
exactly
aggressive.
Aren't they fast, too?
Yeah, in water, they're definitely fast.
Because you most likely, if I'm going to Africa, I'm going to be worried about your lions, your tigers.
I don't think there's tigers.
Are there bears?
No.
Oh, my.
I'd be, like, the big things would be, like, the lions and then...
There's no tigers in Africa?
No. They have jaguars.
I'm disappointed. I swore there was tigers.
Jaguars are pretty badass. They can carry double their body weight up into a tree.
So where do where the tigers are? They're like in India?
Yeah.
Like
They're
the Bengal
Asian.
tiger?
Yeah.
Hence.
In the Asian continent.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's the Siberian Bengals, all those, but they're still over in that area. But I don't know. I don't know if they've ever like come that close together. I don't know where the history on what the lion and tiger range, if they ever came close together, but maybe they are.
Yeah. Have they ever done that? Like, who would win in a fight?
I don't know.
Like, they've always had those stupid shows where it's like, who would win a shark?
Now that you mention
or
it,
an
I think I did
octopus?
see one that they did that, and they said that the lion would win because they're more. The pride keeps them more of a fighting stature, and since tigers are solitary, but that's all hearsay, whatnot.
No, that is scientific evidence.
I think we
sir.
need to actually pin them together, and that is scientific evidence.
Okay.
I'm not for animal cruelty. I'm just saying just once for science.
Just for science.
That's it.
It's not animal cruelty for science.
No.
I mean, because, as we all know, research seems to cause cancer in rats.
Yeah, it really does. They worry about it way too much and cause worry cancer.
Worry cancer in rats.
Well, they're just all pissed off
See?
at all the white coats around
Exactly.
them.
See, those rats were cancer-free until goddamn lab-coated people started messing with them. And
Yep.
all of a sudden, they're riddled with cancer.
Yep.
And they got ears growing on their back.
Yeah.
I think we're the greatest disease. At least to the rat.
Yeah, no doubt.
All these maladies the rats are having, dying left and right.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to put it to you this way. We still owe them a couple. I
What, the
mean,
rats?
bubonic plague.
True.
I think
that is true.
I think we're still on the minus
bastards.
part of that one.
Exactly. But hey, we also owe them something. Because isn't that how they figured out beer was the best? Because you boiled water and then you
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
get the plague. So beer became more prevalent. So thanks
Yeah.
to rats, more beer.
It is true.
That is silver lining right there.
But I'm going to say,
how you look on the sunny
If
side.
it comes down to it, I would rather be alive and be able to enjoy the beer than to have the bubonic plague.
Well,
so,
But with the same thought process, you wouldn't have the bubonic plague because all you would drink was beer.
that is true.
Cheers! See? Once again, beer. Answer.
I think that's the thing. You want to be born like the day after they make that discovery.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Where you growed up. You roaded it up
Yup.
with you need beer to survive.
Yup. Well, it's like...
That's probably why the European countries have a much more laxed perspective on beer then, huh?
I don't know,
At least
maybe.
alcohol.
I do know that back in ancient Egypt, they actually used to pay their workers in beer.
Yeah. What was that pretty much the only nutrition them sons of bitches got?
For the most part.
You know, fuck, what else was there to eat out there? It's fucking sand, man.
How cool is that, though? At least they knew how to treat their slaves. They were like, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to work them to death during the day, and then we're going to get them drunk at night so that they'll be nice and happy.
They kind of do that now,
Yep.
but with a middleman called the
The
American,
bartender.
or the American currency,
Yeah.
as opposed to just giving it to you. They're like,
Exactly.
here, we're going to give you this, which you'll trade, obviously, for this, for the beer. So nothing's really changed. Just because you can't see the chains does not mean you are not a slave.
That is true.
But that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, it is. It really is. That one's the epitome of the far end of the spectrum that we're talking about.
Oh, of course. But I always drag it. I always drag it into those corners. Because, hey, that's just the way I am.
It's true.
It's what I enjoy. And, you know, and that was a tragedy on the 26th of April where Jim Tucker died. Not many people know who Jim Tucker was, but he was actually a journalist. The best part is, this dude has been researching the Bilderberg Group for like 25 years. And the best part is he started out because he read an article by another reporter talking about it. And his whole trail was to disprove this other reporter. And he became like a huge believer. And he like wrote this huge memoir and fucking like called the Bilderberg Diary. Pretty legit. I mean, that's kind of just sad. You know, the best part is he didn't even die from like a conspiracy where the government came out to destroy him. He fell down the stairs.
Or did he?
No. His family was there.
Or
when it
were
happened.
they?
Exactly. I'm still waiting for the thread to come out so I can tie this up into a nice little conspiracy. But I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff, like documentaries and stuff, and read some of his articles about the Bilderberg, because every year he always gets leaked from the insiders, like the wait staff or whatever, like information. And it's actually pretty accurate. The stuff you'd come out with and say, okay, this is what's going to happen. You could almost go by it and then see kind of the world events transpire around it because he knew the blueprint. And he had one of the best quotes where he's like, where else, like, let's say in America, 150 of the biggest celebrities and sports stars all came together and met for a weekend or a week. Do you think the media would cover that? Yeah, they'd be all the fuck over it. Of course, I'm paraphrasing his sentiment.
Yeah.
But then he goes, but why is it when 150 of the heads of major industry governments come together and meet once a year for a week? Why is that covered up? Why is that not even reported in the mainstream media? So that's kind of where he always...
those 150 people own the mainstream media.
You got it. So right there, it kind of...
I mean, shit, if you're going to be talking about it, there's like 3 people that own the media in the U.S.
But what I'm talking about is... that's what's crazy, is without this guy, that kind of thought process where it's so matter of fact that there is essentially a conspiracy where these people get together and conspire on how they're going to manipulate the world in their favor. That is what they do.
See, that's not really a conspiracy, though.
Yeah, it is. Technically, definition-wise.
No, it's not.
It's more than one person conspiring to do something.
They did that down in California not too long ago where the fucking energy companies carved the state up, and they actually got caught, and all of them got fined heavily.
Because they were conspiring,
exactly.
Yes. That's what they're doing.
It's not a conspiracy theory to think it. It happens every goddamn day.
But that's what I'm getting at, is because of Jim Tucker, it became not a conspiracy theory. They never admitted it. It wasn't up until the last few years that it's actually come out in the papers where they'll admit that there is this meeting. This was supposed to be secret. They didn't want anybody to know about this because it's actually unconstitutional for your elected officials to meet with foreign representatives.
Exactly.
So they can't.
Unless it's on government
business. And it has to be transparent as to what took place.
Yeah.
But that's what they're getting. That's regardless of conspiracy or not, right there. You got Obama who goes breaking fucking Constitution, which he does daily. But
well, every president has.
Well, did you see that WikiLeaks thing that came out with Kissinger where they leaked all that quote that they had in there from those fucking audio tapes where he's like, what did he say? Illegal, we can do immediately. Yeah. Unconstitutional, takes a little time.
Yep.
That son of a bitch should be hung for crimes against humanity.
Oh, yeah.
Henry Kissinger, oh my God. It amazes me that that's the way our country is.
No.
Just like all the douchebags get to rule the world.
Oh, and he got to live a playboy lifestyle.
Oh, exactly. Just so frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's like to me, how the quintessential when you're growing up, like bad guy uniform was like the bald guy with the scar, the biker, leather clad.
Oh, and he's even got that stupid little accent.
The German?
Yeah.
Oh, he's creepy. But there's what I find funny is like as a kid,
it's like the half German.
Yeah,
because he's not really German accent. Like he doesn't do the we have ways of making you talk. Like he doesn't do that shit.
It's a little more creepy.
Yeah, I know. It's like the fucking.
That's kind of cartoonish.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like the fucking Rocky and Bo. What was the evil dude's name? Boris.
Yeah,
it was almost like his where it wasn't even German. Like when I hear Henry Kissinger talk, it doesn't sound like a German accent to me. It sounds like somebody trying to do a really bad German accent.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What is he Austrian?
I think he's Austrian.
Yeah, because it's more of a like I was gonna say Hitler, but I've never heard him speak English, Hitler, so I don't know what kind of accent he had. But I was meant Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
interchangeable, I guess. Tomato.
They looked an awful lot alike. You got to admit it. Just an easy slip of the tongue right there.
I mean, Hitler, Schwarzenegger, Jesus Christ.
They're so similar.
Yeah, I know.
Like you take out the F and. They're not.
Well, if you ask Maria Shriver, she'd probably agree.
Yeah. Why Hitler fucked the maid?
Hey. Well, no, she probably thinks Schwarzenegger's like Hitler.
Yeah.
Because bitch. Oh, that's too funny.
That's great. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Well, to be honest, he got away with it for like 13 years or something. Wasn't the the illegitimate kid he had the same age as his kid that was like a couple weeks apart or
something ridiculous like that. Oh, shit.
How weird would that be to, like, all of a sudden find out that's my brother? You know, like...
Yeah, that's my...
That used to be the maid's kid. I was an ass to him his
yeah,
whole
exactly. That kid is my half Mexican, half brother.
I was always doing the, no, you can't play with my toys.
Exactly.
You sit in the corner or go garden.
Those shrubs aren't going to trim themselves.
Yep. He always asks for toys, and I give him shears.
Oh, I remember when that came out. When they showed photos of that kid was huge.
Yeah, he was.
He did look like Schwarzenegger.
Well,
there is no denying that.
Steroids in the womb.
That's true. What?
That's just, you know, after that all came out, though, you know what that kid and the mom were doing after? A big happy dance.
Oh, yes. Yes. Because then there's no way for him to be like, you know, deny any kind of responsibility financially, most importantly to them, I bet. They're like, we're in the money.
Yeah, no. Now I get back pay.
Yeah, oh, shit. Could you imagine the back pay on that?
Well, not only that, but he lost half the other shit, too.
Oh, man. No wonder he's doing so many movies lately. Yeah. He's got to make up for that child support.
Yeah, why do you think he didn't want to go for a second term? That only pays a couple $100,000.
That is true. That is true.
You got to be making the 20 mil every time because, you know, after taxes, that's only 12.
Yeah.
God. How can they, like, eat on that? 12 million a photo? Well, it's actually a flickering picture.
A flickering 16 frames per second.
Yep,
I don't know if that's actually what it is. I'm not a fucking movie nerd.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That's just not enough. I don't get out of the bed for that kind of.
Yeah, exactly. I don't get out of bed for at least 20 mil.
That's what I'm tax free.
After taxes. I'll pay my taxes.
Nope. Off to a Swiss bank account with mine.
Yeah.
They don't even get to see it. That's why it goes to my corporation.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I can't take any money, but the corporation I work for, they bill for my time.
Oh, absolutely. And then
I work on incentive from the corporation.
100%. And then the corporation donates all the proceeds to the 501c3.
Yep.
And then that money just disappears.
Yep.
So
I got a company account, of course.
Exactly. and you are the owner and operator of the 501c3 as well.
Yeah,
that's the way it should be. That's the best way to launder money, man. It's legal.
Yeah, just you have to have enough money to make it legit. It's not like you can do that
100%.
with just a couple of grand or something, because then they're going to be like, no, that's our money. You have to actually make it so that it can be a corporation, and you can have that account so that you have that platinum card that has no limit on it that you can just spend and spend and spend.
It seems like such a cronyism. Like, you have to be already a part of the game if you want to participate with their bullshit rules. It's like, I mean, as much as I think Ayn Rand's kind of a political nut job, the fucking, what is that, Atlas Shrugged is almost looking more and more real, where you look at all these corporate bailouts where, like, you got specific people, like even what they did with the banker bailout. They let certain things fail, certain things thrive. Yeah. So it's like, holy shit. That's kind of exactly the plot of Atlas Shrugged, where the government was basically using taxes to sink one business and increase another because they had some connection.
Well, and
that's so weird.
The one part that I do love about it is, yes, it would have really, really sucked if GM went under, because that was a lot of jobs right off the bat. But you do have to look at it this way as well. If GM would have gone under, they would have had plants that were just sitting there.
Yeah, like they kind of do in Flint, Michigan.
Yeah. And if they weren't producing any kind of vehicles, what do you think would happen with those plants? Ford would all of a sudden get a lot more business.
Yeah.
Toyota, which is made here, would get a lot more business. And then those plants would be back up and running with Ford and Toyota shit.
Oh, if we were lucky.
And I'm just sitting there saying, I will honestly, well, I shouldn't have done that, but I would honestly say that I love how Ford didn't take bailout money. They didn't need it.
Yeah.
Ford was smart enough to have a plant that ran to its capacity, and They didn't overdo it.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't find it... I don't know. I just don't find it forgivable in a capitalist society to save anything.
Well, that defeats the whole purpose of the free market.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, because when people say, "Oh, what, you don't support the free market in America?" When I criticize, the way it's run the economy, I go, "Show me a fucking free market to support." This is crony capitalism by any stretch of the imagination.
Put it this way: in the early 1900s, there was like 300 some car makers in the United States.
Yeah.
You fast forward that to the 80s.
Yeah.
There's only like 3 major players.
Yeah, because even in our little shit town of St. Cloud, there was a fucking car.
Yeah.
Granted, the guy was like a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Fucking douche.
Yeah.
Like every capitalist is. But
yes.
That's the way the system is set up.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest Ponzi scheme in the world is basically the world economy.
Yes.
But besides that, exactly, because that's the proliferation of free business allows that. But now it's just been so condensed. And that's the whole thing where they changed it, where Rockefeller got the laws changed. I can't remember the year, but way back when. Because before this certain time in like early 1900s, you could only be incorporated for the maximum of like 3 years.
Yeah.
Or until your government project was done.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't want this. And then they changed that rule, and that pretty much, you could see that sealed the fate.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as you let it congeal, boy, there goes all of our freedom, all of our democracy, done.
Well, the final blow, I would definitely say, well, at least
Federal
one
Reserve.
of the final blows is, that's another one.
I think that is the biggest ruler.
Ooh, no, I think the biggest one now is when they started to allow corporations to be the rights of people.
And, that is
That's
true.
literally where now you can't do anything to them.
Yeah.
Like, really, you can't do anything to them because they in their law process now, they can jam you up so fucking long that they will literally run anybody out of money.
Or till they're dead.
Yeah.
They'll outlive you, too.
Exactly.
Because they're not an actual person, but they're treated like one.
They have nothing but time and money.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that you can honestly say has more time and money than big business now would be the government.
Yeah.
And if the government wants to get you, they have nothing but time and money. Ask any, any criminal who's ever been really good at their job. The government will actually make laws to go around the laws that are already in place to get you.
Yeah.
Like the RICO laws.
Yeah.
I mean, they use the RICO going, well, we can't get you per se. So we are going to make a law so we can get you because we can connect the dots to you, even though we can't really connect the dots to you.
Yeah.
We can say that you're the boss of this guy and he acted underneath you. So now we can get you.
Yeah. But you can't do that to the real powers that be.
Yeah. Well, you can't do that back to the government in its own.
Yeah, exactly.
And they could be used on that every day.
Oh, 100%.
Like, anytime you have one of these stupid, offices, they always say that, well, my office screwed up.
Oh, yeah.
Like when a congressman gets caught in something stupid, it's always one of his interns or it's always one of the office people's fault. And then they fire one of them. Well, in the RICO Act, wouldn't that be under you because you gave them the privilege to be there? So you should have been able to check that out before you hired them to do that. There's just so many examples. That's a small one, too. But
I mean, Abu Ghraib would be a huge example.
yeah, exactly.
That's
So
exactly
every
what it
single
is.
one of those congressmen that voted against closing that should now be held accountable for any atrocities that happened there. Because that's the RICO Act. You made it possible for that to stay open.
Oh, 100%.
So therefore, you made it possible for that to happen. Therefore...
And the worst part is they even have fucking memos showing Rumsfeld signed off on it, but yet they still can't go that far up the fucking tower.
Yeah.
But they can do it, under the illusion of your henchmen doing it. That's bullshit.
They have the letterheads and they're blacked out and everything, but they have the letterheads from Cheney about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, the whole Bush administration was kind of, they should be, Obama, Clinton, Bush, they should all be tried for fucking war crimes. They're all torturers.
Oh, yeah.
They're all traitors by all sense of the imagination. Because look at all the civil rights they've taken away with the whole fucking, after the Timothy McVeigh bombing.
Yeah.
We got to crack down on white people.
Well, no, I'm just the part that really pissed me off though was when Obama was running the first time and he did the we're going to close it.
Yeah.
And then he took
Gitmo?
one
Yeah,
run
yeah.
at it, and he goes, sorry. Like, no, if that's one of the things you ran on, you should be on them every single time. Like, every time that the House or the Senate has something on the floor that they can put something new, another bill to close Gitmo should be there.
Oh, 100%.
You should literally flood that office with as many fucking times as you possibly can. So when the people ask, well, how the hell did you not get it closed when you ran on it? I tried to run that 20 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Guess how many times they voted it down? 20 times. So don't look at me. Look at the fucking House. Look at the Senate. Those are the motherfuckers that didn't want this to go through.
Exactly.
So, but he didn't do that. He ran it through one time, and then he waited until his second term, and now he's going, now I'm serious. Really? So the guys that have been sitting there for 5 years, they're like, oh, fuck, now he's serious. Good.
Yeah, but he's not. But he's not.
Oh, it's just another song and dance.
Oh, of course.
I mean, he's just doing this to...
And see, that's the best part is...
It's the magician. Look at my right hand while my left hand's under the table switching the cards.
Yeah, and the best part is like, if you wanted to close it, you could. With an executive order. And what do you got to worry about? Re-election?
Well, that's the only thing that's different about a magician and the president is they have usually a really hot assistant.
That is true. And, the assistants...
Condoleezza Rice. No.
Yeah. And, oh, my God, the fucking assistants they have in Washington, they're so gross. Like that Janet Napolitano. Ugh. And then, what's the one under Clinton? Janet Reno.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I absolutely found that funny because you remember on Saturday Night
Will
Live?
Ferrell?
Yeah. And when they actually had Janet Reno come out, it was almost like, oh my God, twins.
Janet Reno's dance party or whatever the fuck that little bit was. Oh, that was hilarious.
Oh, that's grand.
Oh,
I forgot about her.
Me too. Fuck, I'm kind of excited about that Iron Man. Fuck Iron Man. Because that just came out, Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about it. I hadn't seen the first two.
I haven't heard anybody talk about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, when I was in Iowa this weekend, I guess a lot of her friends were nerds. So they
like
all,
Iron Man.
Yeah, so they're all talking about it. But what was I going to say? Anchorman.
Yeah, the
Anchorman
second
2.
one.
Yeah, that'll be pretty legit. Will Ferrell.
Hopefully.
We'll see. I'm still waiting for Clerks 3.
It's in the making.
Yes, I can't wait for Clerks 3.
It's going to be a good one.
Yes. So have you seen any decent movies lately?
I actually just saw that remake of The Cabin in the Woods with Chris Hemsworth, is it? The dude that played Thor.
Oh, with the fucking sacrifice?
Yeah.
I loved that movie. The whole concept, I thought, was amazing.
Well, it's a remake.
Oh, it was awesome.
It's just because now they can actually do the visual of it. It's a lot better than the first one.
I never even saw the first one or knew it existed when I saw the remake.
But yeah, it's a pretty legit movie.
The concept of it was, because that is goddamn truth, man. I think that goes on right now. Truly. Not to that lament, but I still think our society does have ritual suicide, or not ritual suicides, but ritual sacrifices.
Yes.
I think people literally are sacrificed still to this day. That's why I think that movie was so good, because it struck what I think is a resonance of truth. I don't know. That's just me. I have nothing really to back it up. I just truly think that still exists.
Well, in essence, wouldn't premeditated murder be a sacrifice?
No, but not ritualistic. Not for a certain purpose.
Well, it is to a certain purpose. You're trying to kill them.
Yeah, I'm talking, if you're talking serial killer, they do have their own rituals and stuff like that. But what I'm talking about is more of a sacrifice to a god entity.
To a deity.
And it's more of a systemic, not an individual that does it. This is like literally people have gotten organized together to make this happen. It's happened in every culture. That's why I can't believe it's stopped. And that's the weird thing, too, is it almost makes you wonder, is mid-April the time for our country and our society to perform our ritual sacrifices? Because that's when all the weird shit happens. Is like mid-April. Like the bombing in fucking Oklahoma City, April. Columbine. mid-April. You got fucking Boston bombing mid-April. I mean, just all this. I mean, it goes on and on. There's tons of other stuff too that I can't pick off the top of my head, but there's so much stuff.
Do you think that ever came into the mind of Ben
Tupac
Laden?
died in April.
Yeah, but
Kurt Cobain died in April.
do you think that ever came into the mind of Bin Laden when he's like, you know what, I want to spread this out a little bit. I'm going September.
September. Yeah, that was a lot more for, I think, symbolism with 9/11. That's pretty. That's, I thought when that first happened, I'm like, that is weird. Just the odd symbolism being 9/11, 911 emergency, and then using United and American Airlines when we have all these other. Just kind of the symbolism of a lot of it is, I thought, was just strange. I just get a kick out of it. But that, like, the synchronicities always turn up in life like that, where you'll just have something that kind of is like, ooh, what a weird coincidence. Kind of like when they arrested the friends of the youngest bomber in Boston, where one of them on their fucking BMW had a vanity plate that said Terrorista #1. And they even had photos of him, like, you know, posing with the car with his buddies before they're gonna go to a party and shit. So it's just like, really? You know what I mean? It's just kind of like all those weird little synchronicities. You're like, so this dude, you know, he's a terrorist.
I don't know how I missed that one.
Yeah, exactly. But his buddy's Terrorista #1. What is he? Terrorista #2?
It must have been a really flashy car to miss the plates like that.
Yeah, well, I think it was just like one of them black Beamers, you know? Because I think
I'm just saying. The cops were just like, wow. Did you catch that license? No, it'll be back.
But the weirdest part was I saw like a photo of it, and it's like literally a license plate issued through Dartmouth. It doesn't look like a regular state plate. It's, you know, like a Dartmouth University plate.
Strange.
But you know how they have that. Like Iowa, I noticed that too, has like Iowa State plates that don't look like the regular state plates. They're like this college. It's so weird. I've never seen like a University of Minnesota.
Like alma mater plates or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I've seen the ones that have like the little covering around it.
Yeah,
like
a frame, but not an actual license plate made specifically for your school.
Yeah, because I saw one the other day. What was it that said Johnny 67? And it was like this really old dude driving it, and then he actually had a St. John's in the back window.
Nice.
And then the little license cover. And I was just looking at it because the little license cover said alum.
Oh, and so would he graduate 67? Or
that's
is that
what I would guess. And I was looking at it going, how is it that you can have that much love for a school that you went to that far, you know, like that long ago? How is it that you're just like, they gave me everything at that school? Is it really that? I actually find it pathetic when people say that their college or their high school years were the best years that they've ever had in their life.
Yeah.
That to me is sad. So basically at that point you were just like, oh, stop and living now.
Yeah, but yeah, I peaked. I've accomplished all I can accomplish. How miserable would that be?
I don't know.
Fucking 23, 24 years is your life, and you front loaded that? That would suck.
Seriously, your best years are doing keg stands.
Yeah. Oh, that would suck.
Literally, your best years are drinking so much that the next day you have yellow skin.
Yeah, unless you were like, you know, slaying fucking hella co-eds, and then all of a sudden now you're working fucking McDonald's. Then I'd say, yeah, you're legit. Those probably were your best years.
Like the dude that came for an athletic scholarship and never paid attention in class and then blew out his knee. And then he's sitting there going, now I don't even have an education.
Oh my, you know what's sad is every person in this country at least knows two people that have done that.
My uncle was one. He actually had a couple of different records in high school for playing basketball, and then he went to college and he was playing Division I, and he ended up blowing out his knee, and that was that. Then he started hitting a bottle, and that was that.
Yeah, that's sad. But hey, when you're singularly focused on something, and then all of a sudden it gets torn away from you when you're that young, when you have there's nothing else in your life, essentially,
There's so many people that have gotten over it, though.
Of course. But I can understand.
Yeah, but I don't have empathy.
Yeah, you don't have empathy for anybody.
That's just because life sucks. Get on with it.
Yeah.
Always prepare for the worst and expect
The best?
No. Prepare for the worst and expect the normality.
The norm.
And hope for the best.
And hope for That is sage-like advice from Sam.
That's what I'm saying. As soon as you can accept normality, that's when life starts getting really fun. Because when you always, do the, I hope today is going to be an awesome day, you're going to get crushed.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, in my world, you're going to get crushed walking out the door.
Yeah, you're just... So basically what you're telling me is, to be happy, I have to wake up every morning and be like, I hope today is mediocre.
Pretty much.
I hope nothing. I hope I have no peaks, and I hope I have no valleys.
Because then if you say that, and you walk out the door, and, all of a sudden you step into shit as soon as you hit the sidewalk.
Like,
you're just like, yeah?
That's fucking life, man. Always something.
Yeah.
There's always something.
But if you walk outside and all of a sudden, sunshine and you go to work and the boss is like, hey, you got a raise. Dude, this day turned out pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly.
But, most of the time you're just going to go to work and come home and do the exact same thing that you normally do. So the normality runs. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Don't expect it to be awesome. Don't expect it to be shitty. It'll be what it is.
It'll be what it is.
Acceptance. That's what it is. Striving is all right in certain instances. But you shouldn't always be striving. That's just fucking stressful.
Touche. That's funny. Oh, that's a good place to stop so I can get a beer.
Oh, these things do kind of get a little uncomfortable after a while. Oh. Dig.
You want a Reds?
No.
You don't want a Reds?
Nope.
And it's an apple ale.
You throw an apple at me, I throw a bottle at you.
I throw a bottle at you. Ooh, you wanna try another one of those the fucking IPA one? I'll make sure it's a good one. If it's in the small bottle, it should be good. Because those were the first pours. Where'd it go? Never mind. Not gonna.
Yeah, wait, I just opened this one.
Yeah. And I have no small bottles in there. Whatever. Alright.
Bop.
Bop. Bop. Yes, what else has been in the news?
I don't know.
You haven't been paying attention?
No, I really haven't been paying too much attention.
Yeah, I've been kind of incommunicato fucking Friday through Monday fucking in Iowa, which is pretty like being in a third world country. Then last night went to the Wild playoff game. Miserable.
Should have saved your money.
Yeah, fucking hey, dude. $47 face value ticket, paid $90.
Oh, of course.
And it was like section 203, so way up there. It was actually, that's the furthest I've ever been up, and I kind of liked it better than when we were at third row at that playoff series.
You couldn't see much on the wall.
Oh, and it was so fast when you're down there.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track. But when you're up that high, it's probably about 15 degrees higher than the TV angle, essentially, from where I was sitting. So it was actually a pretty legit seat. Center ice. Actually, my seat was pretty much dead on with the blue line.
Okay.
So it was just a little askew, but damn good seats.
Can't complain.
Place is fucking rockin'.
Yeah, one of my coworkers was in section 116 in the 15th row. So,
well, you have way better seats. Douche.
Yeah. Well, she got a free ticket from a guy that wants to dump her, I believe.
Ah, see the vag, man. That'll get you everything.
It will.
Without the pretty pink ribbon.
You know what? Just once in my life, I'd like to have somebody that I don't know come up and be like, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?"
Yeah, no shit. Well, I had that in Iowa, but it was some dude that was sitting next to me at the bar when I was watching the Wild game. And
but I'm pretty sure
beer.
you were talking to him a little bit before that, or
Yeah.
there was some common thread. So it wasn't just like somebody walking up being like, "Hey,
Well, you got
can I buy you a drink?"
Well, yeah, if that especially happened in Iowa, that would have been really creepy.
Yeah, it would. It would have been.
Small town gay bar.
Yeah, it's an.
I could have walked. It was called the Fireside Lounge.
Oh,
So the shit, I could have.
Did you check behind the toilet paper roll, see if there's a hole there?
Oh, glory hole? No, what is it? Glory hole, right? Yeah, I don't know what those are called. Yeah, glory hole.
Yeah, right. I don't know what those called.
I don't.
You only said it like 5 times and don't know what it's called.
Glory hole? Is it glory hole?
Is that what it is?
Is it glory hole?
I think I heard that on some news station.
Yeah,
once,
something. Yeah, glory hole. Glory hole. I saw that in a movie once.
Anybody from Minnesota should know that we had that one fucking congressman that was trying to do it down at the airport.
Yeah, but it was fuck. At least he wasn't our congressman.
Yeah, no doubt. That was the weirdest part.
Idaho.
He actually flew in from another state to check out our glory hole.
Well, because apparently, and this is apparently to me that I'm not playing. No, I'm just kidding. That's I suppose that's a hub. That's why they're patrolling it. Like had a weird reputation for being that terminal. That bathroom was fucking a gay haven.
I'm just going to put it this way. You have too much money and too much time if you can actually hop on a plane, travel to another state to get your dick sucked.
Well, no, what it was he was flying from Idaho to Washington, and he had
it was a
layover. So I'm not sure if he had to have the layover or if he chose that. I'm thinking he chose to have the layover.
kind of a weird thing. I wonder how many like flight attendants after that whole story came out was like, holy shit, I was always wondering why they were asking, is there a layover in Minneapolis?
Every one of them.
I just wonder, because there had to be at least one of them someplace, like, I don't know, like Tampa or something, just being like, motherfucker, that's why they keep asking.
Yep. And we're not even going that way. This is a flight from Seattle to Flagstaff. And they're asking if there's a layover in Minneapolis? Yep. What is going on? Now we know. Well, shit, we knew like 5 years ago. We're being really topical. Yeah, we're going on about Schwarzenegger's limited child. Fucking senator. This is like in the news 5 years ago. Brought to you today.
He was hiking the Appalachian Trail.
Looking for Sandra Levy's body.
Let's stay on topic now.
Stay on topic. Oh, fucking A. Did you probably never watched that show, but, just, ex-girlfriends and stuff like that, and the girls that I hung out with, I had to watch, like, the teen mom shows.
No.
So there's this teen mom. I think she was in the 2nd season. She just came out with a fucking porn. They paid her $1 million. I think it was Vivid or something. And it's called, like, Backdoor Teen Mom or some shit like that.
Weird.
Yeah, so this chick, MTV's Teen Mom, is fucking porn star. I just saw that, what the fuck, yesterday?
I don't know if Screech made one.
That is true. But I feel so, I just feel so bad.
Why?
I don't know, because...
Dude, you knew she was a whore for publicity anyway. She was on MTV.
Yeah, she was on 16 and Pregnant. But
yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, it just pains me to see that. I'm sympathetic.
You know what? It doesn't really pain me to see that, and I'm not sympathetic at all to it, because she could always have said no. She could have had a normal life. Hundreds and thousands of women do it every single year. Leah's cousin is doing that right now. She's 15 and having a kid, so she should be on 15 and Pregnant, bitches.
Fuck but yeah. Is that why she got pregnant?
No.
Oh, that'd have made a much better story.
Knowing her, I could see her actually like applying for it though. But actually, I don't know. I just think it's kind of strange. It's like an epidemic where everybody thinks it's okay to do it, and I think it has a lot to do with the whole fucking way that people, like society as a whole, has pushed sex into such a nasty. Like we're starting to come out of it.
Yeah, our society.
Yeah. Because, I mean, now you got Trojan commercials all the time, and, like, it's starting to come out of it. It's not quite like Telemundo yet. I mean,
Jigglies.
holy shit. No. I'm just saying, have you ever, just seen some of the commercials that are on there?
No. I just see, like, those weird talk show, game show things they have with the senoritas with the big old titties hanging out.
No, just some of the basics and, simple commercials.
Like selling AT&T.
Well, let's just put it to you this way. And most of them, it's like real scantily dressed women that are like crawling across the floor. And, it'll be like 28 seconds of that. And then all of a sudden she'll reach up for something and go, Pepsi Cola. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, there's always some stupid little, like, you never know what the product is until the last 2 or 3 seconds. The rest of the commercial is nothing but to grab your attention and make you watch at the boob tube, because that's literally what it becomes when they do this. And literally, you don't know anything until they have that last couple of seconds, and then they're just like, Pepsi Cola. And that's it.
Yeah, most of those, like, foreign commercials are like that. Whenever what do they usually show that around, like, the Super Bowl? Where they're like, funniest commercials in the world. Yeah. Like, all those foreign ones are like sex and just non sequiturs, and you don't know what's going on. Then all of a sudden you're like, what were they advertising? Which makes for a very ineffectual ad. If I remember the ad but not the product, that's kind of not doing your client a service.
But then again, in a lot of other countries, they don't look at the ads as we do.
Yeah, they look at it more as, unlike us, they look at it more as like a fucking inconvenience. So they try to entertain you.
It's more of an entertainment than...
Yeah.
I mean,
but with us, we're like...
Yeah, don't get me wrong, they do that here too, but a lot of other countries don't have pharmaceutical commercials every other commercial.
That is true.
Like, I'm not kidding you, one of them... Oh, shit, what was I watching? It was during the daytime on one of my days off, and normally I don't watch TV during the daytime because it's usually just bullshit.
Yeah.
But I was pretty hungover from the next day, so no, I wasn't even watching Maury. I was actually watching the show, or the channels that I usually watch, like Discover and History and, all that Smithsonian. Yeah. But I noticed at that point in time, the commercials are absolutely 100% different than what they are in my normal schedule of watching TV. Like watching late at night. Watching late at night, it's always like Taco Bell and Pepsi and Coke and, all those kind of shit.
Well, daytime is always colleges and attorneys.
Not at this point, like on most of the ones that I was watching, it was all like fucking different types of medications.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like one of them was testosterone 1.62. If you ever took 1%, we have something for you. It's 1.62%. It's like, oh my god, I didn't know that was so cool. But yeah, in one commercial break, I remember seeing 3 different pharmaceutical commercials. And one of them was for like Propecia, one of them was for this testosterone shit, and then another one was for I don't know. Something that had to do with women shit. I don't really pay attention to those ones at all. But anyway, and then the best part is what you were talking about. The next commercial that came on was have you ever taken this drug? If you have, call this number and you might be in a class action lawsuit.
The one that was advertised 3 commercials before it.
Yeah, I was looking at it going, I should just write these down and find out how many of these, 5 years from now, they're going to have this exact same commercial for.
Oh, exactly.
And the best part about it is it's always the same law firm that has those. Like, have you been injured by this, or this? Do you still have asbestos in your ceiling? Like,
wasn't it? Yeah, asbestos gives you mesothelioma, which I think is the funniest disease because I would fucking be sitting there all wasted when I was younger at late night TV with those ads, and I'd just be sitting there all drunk and I'd be like mesothelioma, like I need my cash settlement because mesothelioma.
Yeah, it's pretty good though.
Oh shit, I don't know. That just fucking attorneys.
Yeah, I find that absolutely hilarious.
That's, I think, bringing it back to the prevalence of the way the American pharmaceutical industry advertises in America. Actually, fucking read this study where the placebos are actually testing better than the medication these days.
Oh, of course.
Because people believe in medication so much. So, fucking A, man, they probably are just hawking goddamn sugar pills.
Well, then again, seriously, if you're going to be thinking about it, the placebos are probably always just as effective as the pills that they were giving. But then again, how would you
testing higher in the test groups and stuff like that when they do the control groups?
But that's what I'm saying. They probably always did. who are you going to say, how are you going to say it wasn't? You're the one that made the research.
Well,
It's just like every single fucking toothbrush always says 4 out of 5 dentists.
yeah.
How is it that every single one of them, like, did you do a study beforehand, like the dental academy, being like, all right, Andrew Fisher, what kind of toothpaste do I use?
Yeah.
That one. And then they get these fucking sheets and go, we're not going to call him. We're not going to, oh, no, we'll call these 4 and then this guy.
Then this guy.
Just to make it credible. Because we can't be like, yeah, 5 out of 5 dentists recommend this. Because then you'd be like, hey, do you recommend this to your own dentist? And if he says no, you'd be like, they are full of shit.
Exactly. Well,
But if you said your dentist and you were like, hey, do you recommend this? No. Maybe I got to find another dentist because you are 1 of 5, sir.
That you do not recommend Trident?
That's what I'm
Fuck off, asshole.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's actually costing some dentists their jobs.
Ooh, I never thought of it that way.
Being like, oh,
or at least
shit,
patients.
I got the 1 out of 5. I got the shit dentist. I got to go out to find myself one of the dentists that would recommend that.
Oh, that is so sad. But I think that's probably true. I never even thought about it, but
Yeah, that's where my brain takes it. That's why I'm the talent.
That's what you
No, I've always thought about that. It's just hilarious to me how people throw statistics out there and it actually is supposed to mean something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and the best part about it is when people have to think about a statistic. When they go, yeah, they said it was like 63% of people. Really? I bet you just pulled that out of your ass. No. That's what they said. Who said it? Well, the people that did the study. Who did the study? I don't know. 38% sure you pulled that out of your ass now. And we're getting a little warmer.
Exactly. And I'm 100% sure I do that daily. At least when I'm at work. I always do.
Well, yeah, it's the easiest thing to fuck around with and say because who's going to prove you wrong?
Oh, exactly.
But like, whoa. How do you know that's 63%? Because I asked 100 people.
And 63 said, yeah, I was right.
Survey says,
Bing.
show me potato salad.
What? How is that not something you
Think
bring
about
to a
it, you got a chance to steal.
Oh, okay. What's the category? Things you bring to a picnic. Potato salad, not on the list. I'm going to go blanket.
Yeah, I
Blanket.
just do think it's funny that people think that statistics actually have anything to do with a conversation unless you actually have the proof in the pudding, like the paperwork to back it up. And it was an independent study.
And even that.
If you did your own study, I'm not checking
skewed.
you. Oh, no, that's just bullshit.
Yeah, statistics. I mean, that's the beauty of statistics. You can skew them any way you feel.
83% of the time they're made up, and 65% of the time people actually believe. Only 38% of the people that are telling it, though. But 100% of the time they're always credible.
Oh, yeah. What?
I did my research.
Whatever. No. Sold?
Yeah, exactly. So I owe you $2?
Yeah, exactly. It's like that fucking that old money trick that the people try to play on like cashiers. Will be like, no, I want you to change for this. No, now you put this here. You do this, do this, and then fucking what? Then you end up losing money.
No.
Just like God, that's the world.
Yeah, it is.
One big shell game.
Yeah.
Bring it home.
One of these times you'll find the ball, Jake. Just go double or nothing.
It's the Red Queen. That's my problem. I'm playing the shell game looking for the Red Queen.
I thought I was looking for a card.
Shit. That is a pretty good analogy for the way I look at the world. I'm not even on the same wavelength.
A Red Queen. That's all
I've been looking for. Which fits. I love redheads. Everybody else is looking for their ball under the nut. I'm just looking for my Red Queen. Oy vey. Fucking come the revolution, I say.
No doubt. I think we beat that horse to death.
Yeah. What horse?
Once again, no animal cruelties had happened.
Yeah,
no animals have been harmed.
But what horse were you talking about?
Oh, that whole conversation there. That topic is done.
What topic? What were you even talking
I
about?
don't know. It just furled off. We got it recorded. We can check it out later.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, damn.
I don't know how that all started.
Yeah, me neither. I can't believe we missed up that first recording.
No, that was a good one.
That was epic. That was the greatest podcast in history. And we effed it up, Sam.
The greatest song in the world. Well, this is just a trick.
This is the greatest podcast in the world. This is the truth. That's brilliant. I mean, God.
It always seems like you get the best topics when you don't have a recording.
Exactly.
But then what are you going to do?
Like the Villisca Axe Murder House.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That is a good one. June 10th. Ooh, it's coming up, the anniversary, 1912. Oh, it would have been... I wish I'd have known about this last year. I'd have went for the 100th anniversary and took the tour. In Villisca, Iowa.
Why?
Why? Because there was a bunch of people murdered there with an axe.
That's supposed to be entertaining going there?
Well, if you're a paranormal lover like me.
I didn't know that about you.
How many of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? 8 of the motherfuckers died. It's the oldest unsolved mass murder in United States history, is what I heard.
Well, it should say on the website if it technically is.
No, it might not say it there, but I believe what I heard from the locals. I don't care what the website says.
You would believe that they would advertise it as such anyway.
No, because when the truth is not as good as the legend, print the legend.
No, that's true.
Who the fuck was that had that show?
I don't know.
God, what the fuck was his name? What was that show even called? You know what show I'm talking about. This is the most ridiculous thing what we're talking. What the fuck? God,
now I'm not going to remember it until I stop thinking.
Oh my God. What the hell is that? It's like we both know exactly what we're talking about. I don't know.
I can't think of it right now.
Fuck. God damn it. It was like...
I just lost my train of thought, too.
Yeah, me too. Shit.
Because I just had something that I was going to start with, but...
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I destroyed you.
Hurrah!
Ah, shitty. My bad. The fuck was that?
I don't know.
Alright, think of something else to talk about. Oh, I was hoping I'd have it.
Have what?
Oh, if I just did that. I was hoping if I just Googled print the legend it would work, but... Nope, and all it brings up is the man who shot Liberty Valance. I think that must be where that came from originally, but that show that I was talking about, not apparently that.
Well, I finally saw Lincoln.
Oh, what did you think of the Lincoln?
I will honestly say I understand why everybody was so, I should say, excited about Daniel Day-Lewis's performance. That was amazing.
Yeah, very good.
Like how he always stayed so calm with his voice. Like, you know, it's kind of one thing to hear that throughout history that he was a soft-spoken man. But then to actually have it come out on film like that where you actually have a guy that even when he's yelling in the movie, he still has that soft-spokenness to him.
Yeah.
And especially for a guy like Daniel Day-Lewis, I mean, he's played in some of the most dramatic roles where you have a booming voice.
But my critique is it is well documented that Abraham Lincoln actually had a high-pitched voice. So he already fucked up.
Well, he did have a higher pitched voice than like I said, he normally has a voice like mine, where it's more of a low, raspier, booming voice. Did I have him?
No, but what they describe Lincoln's voice to be and what he portrayed were two completely different things.
You can only do so much.
But also you want to make it fucking tolerable.
Yeah, unless you're going to CGI his voice.
Well, they did with fucking Dark Knight to the opposite.
That's true.
But how could you take a dramatic movie like that serious? Like, 4 years ago.
It sounds like a little kid's talking.
Yeah, but go keep going. I just wanted to throw that in to be kind of a dick to Daniel Day-Lewis.
To be honest, though, I actually don't think that they made any kind of importance on... I mean, they kind of touched the base of it with Mary Todd's insanity.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty legit.
Like, they touched base on it, but they did not portray the man that I
that you're
you came to actually think he was.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, I mean, he was a lot more depressed than what they depicted him as as
he
well.
didn't seem really that depressed at all.
And to even have the line that he knew, or that he felt that his life was coming to an end a couple of days before, they didn't even say that in the movie.
Yeah, I know, exactly. They glossed over a lot. But
Yeah.
I suppose, but that's kind of the thing, because I heard an interview with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and he was kind of talking about that, where, you know, Spielberg just kind of wanted to make the movie about that specific time just passing the 13th Amendment, and that's pretty much all the movie was about.
Okay.
But you can't end it without... And that's why they didn't show...
Yeah, they showed his son.
Yeah, you know, and they didn't. That's why they didn't show, you know, the actual it happened.
Yeah.
You know, that's why.
By the way, spoiler alert.
Yeah, Lincoln gets shot in the end. So that's why, you know, because I liked that, because when they had the theater scene at the end, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Then I'll tell you the truth, I was a little disappointed. I'm like, I really don't want to see this. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like...
That's why I thought it was classy that they showed his kid.
Yeah, and then where, you know, they come out and they're like...
The president has been shot.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my God.
Mm.
That was such a dramatic ending. I loved it. But it's fucking official. Just like Val Kilmer is Jim Morrison.
Yes.
In the zeitgeist of this country. Daniel Day-Lewis is...
As well as Doc Holliday.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer.
But I'm talking about...
Holiday.
Yeah. That is true. That is true. But yeah, Doc Holliday's really not that big of a celebrity these days.
No, but he has been portrayed many times in movies.
That is also
definitely say Val Kilmer got that.
Yes, I would agree.
Daisy,
Very
if you do.
sure. Daisy.
No, I thought that was a pretty decent movie. There was a lot of stuff,
which is rare for you.
Well, like I said,
you're such a cynical movie watcher.
No, I am.
Oh, I'm surprised you just weren't like tearing it apart. Because yeah, it's tough to watch movies with you. You're a little too logical. You don't just like to get lost in the story. You're like, man, bullshit.
Well, that's because the only time I like to get lost into a story is when they make the story to the point of they're just like, here's our story.
And you're like, it's so good I can get lost in it.
Yeah.
If you do your job well.
To the majority of the movies, I can't get lost in the story because there's so much wrong with just the basis of the movie itself. It's like, wow, you didn't put any time into this whatsoever. All you wanted to do was do a little bit of CGI and go, look at this! And that's supposed to be your movie.
Yeah.
Like Transformers. Really? That was your dialogue?
True.
Like, you made it exactly like the cartoon version. You might as well just had the cartoon version. Because, I mean, wow. There was absolutely nothing that was endearing about the characters themselves. All it was CGI and buildings blowing up.
I did like the third one with the because they had that whole sweet conspiracy woven into it.
I don't even think I saw the third one.
Conspiracy, because it was like the dark side or something, or something about dark. Was I think the third one, wasn't it? Or was the second?
I didn't see the last one. I don't think.
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan, but there's just one of them that has a fucking conspiracy theme through it. That's the only reason I liked it.
Okay.
Was because that storyline was not that great, but it was at least the only storyline that I could attach to and be like, this makes this tolerable. And now the CGI isn't, there's a little more to it.
That's why I can't get lost in stories anymore, though. You can't just fucking CGI something and go, that's a story. No, it's not. That's animation.
Well, then how does Michael Bay have a career?
Well, it's a good point.
Well, people eat shit.
How does Uwe Boll have a career?
Who?
That Uwe Boll.
Oh, my God. Yeah. What did he do, Blood Rain and shit, or what?
Yeah, he actually did another one called Tunnel Rats that was about the Vietnam War.
Really?
Oh, my God.
Is anybody in it, actually, or is it just
no.
Be good?
Okay. It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen about it. Like, seriously, it made American soldiers seem like they were just the dumbest things ever. They made a headquarters in the middle of this jungle. So, like, they didn't clear out any of the forest or anything like that to make their headquarters. It was right in the middle of this jungle so that, the Vietnamese could come right up on them.
And they couldn't land any helicopters.
Yep. I mean, it was just one of those things where you were like, wow, you did absolutely zero research before you made this movie. And that is absolutely ridiculous because it really did. It made it seem like the American soldiers were just the dumbest things ever, and that's why they couldn't win. And then maybe it's just me, but doing that and then coming from a German guy.
Yeah, that's weird. So that whole movie what was the point of it? Was to show like how Vietnamese won? Or was it just kind of
I really don't know what the whole point was.
Or was it just kind of a fuck the American military movie?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Or they just kind of like shamed him. What was the point? Just he tried to make a movie and it just didn't work.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
He tried to make a movie and it turned out to be just a really stupid kind of horror, kind of action, kind of... Well, it wasn't an adventure, don't worry about that, but... Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was supposed to be a horror, if it was supposed to be an action. It damn sure wasn't supposed to be like a documentary or anything real, because it just had nothing to base it back. I mean, I really don't understand what it was supposed to be, but I watched one more of his movies the other day, and I thought it was going to be decent. Because some of the guys, I mean, Ray Liotta was in it, and Jason Statham, and...
What movie is that?
I don't know. It's something about... see, that I don't even remember the title of it.
Nice.
You know, for me, that's bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was supposed to be like some medieval one. It was like a really cheap Lord of the Rings.
Ah, lame.
Because Ray Liotta was like this magician dude that ended up creating an orcish army type deal, and
I couldn't see Ray Liotta dressed up in period garb.
It was really odd.
That he just doesn't have that look.
Yeah, it was really odd.
In like weird medieval clothing, that just seems either Jason Statham either.
Oh, tell me this though. This isn't just absolutely fucking cliche. Jason Statham plays this old farm, or not old farmer, but he plays this farmer guy.
A peasant?
Yeah.
I can see him as a peasant.
His
yep.
kid gets killed and his wife gets kidnapped. And get this, his name is Farmer.
Shut up.
I know. Did not see that coming.
Oh my god.
You know it's an awesome script.
Yeah.
When they're like, what do we call him? Farmer?
He didn't write and direct it, though, did he?
Oh, I don't know.
I doubt it.
But, you know, as a director's standpoint, wouldn't that be the first thing that you're like, yeah, we need to change this?
But they wanted it to be like, fucking, oh, man, that's how people got their names, man. Via their occupation. He wanted to show that.
Except for Farmers Insurance.
Did they insure farmers?
No.
Oh. What did they insure, then? Everything but?
Semen.
Ew. Oh, you
sailors,
mean,
you asshole.
Sailors. God, sorry. Got her. My bad.
No, I just think that's kind of funny. That's why I can't get lost in these movies, though, is when they try too hard to make you like them. I mean, I like the movies that just give you the storyline and they're like, hey, here's the storyline. They don't try to keep you entertained by constantly having the CGI and everything. If your script is good enough, you shouldn't have to have all that.
Yeah, you know what? What was it? Fuck. Right after my birthday, I saw a couple weeks ago. I went and saw Oblivion. Went by myself. I had the theater to myself. I went at like 1:30 on a Monday.
Nice.
And I'm not kidding you. I was the only one in there.
Is that the Tom Cruise one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate Tom Cruise. Well, I liked him in Color of Money. Days of Thunder was legit when I was a kid. I like Days of Thunder, I'll admit it. But this movie was, I'll admit it, it was good. A lot of people said they didn't understand it and get it.
I'm just going to say this, though. Risky Business was like one of the first times I saw Bush.
So you got a soft spot.
Actually, it wasn't one of the first times. I know I've seen a Playboy before that, but it was like the first time I saw a movie with Bush. Yeah.
Well, obviously, it was the best time. The first time you remember seeing it and it stuck.
Oh, hell yeah.
See, that's the thing. You might have saw Playboy.
Oh, yeah.
But that was the cognitive. You're like, boom, Risky Business, motherfucker.
I saw Bush.
But, yeah. So, Tom Cruise, thank you for that.
Yeah, no doubt. And then you went crazy.
Exactly. But, the Oblivion movie, I thought was pretty decent. A lot of people said it was fucking crazy, but for me, well, you know, I'm a conspiracy theorist, so it really helped that the villain was a black upside-down triangle with a red eye. So, of course, the conspiracy theorists be like, oh my god, Illuminati symbolism like a motherfucker. And to me, it read like an anti-Illuminati New World Order movie. Because, the whole concept of spoilers is he fucking thinks, he's alone. Yeah. And, and then all of a sudden there's these humans there. So it kind of is along the vein of the Matrix where what you see as reality isn't. And, there's somebody's pulling the wool over your eyes to control you as well as to take away human life. And it happens to be this technocratic fucking intelligence that you don't really understand, but which is symbolized as a triangle with an eye, which, like our money shows, and, the Illuminati symbolism is that. So it's just, to me, it was hilarious because I go into it not knowing this and then just being me watching this and I'm just like, what the fuck? I understand these archetypes. You know what I mean? It's like I get these metaphors and these analogies they're making in this movie. And then, the spaceships themselves were upside down pyramids. Mm-hmm. And then the weirdest part was I think it's Universal that made it, or Paramount or one of them, but it actually had where it does, like the logo, mm-hmm. where it does the intro, it actually had like a little triangle there, and I'm just like, that's weird. But because just because Illuminati, the triangle symbol, so I'm like, wow, they're being pretty overt about the Illuminati even in the logo now. But then I realized that's what the spaceships look like, because I really didn't see too much about the movie. I just love sci-fi, and I had nothing else to do, and it just happened to line up after I went disc golfing.
It's like, isn't it Will Smith and his kid in a movie now that's about that too? Where they like crash on Earth way in the future, and everything else is evolved to the point where they haven't had humans here for a long time.
I think I vaguely heard something. I've never seen any trailers for it.
I've seen one trailer, but yeah,
does it look good?
It looks a lot like the whole. Well, actually, the plot is completely different, but it looks a lot like the whole thing where they're the only people that are there, and blah 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 blah. Oh. But I don't know.
So did you ever watch that Life of Pi?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm not interested.
It's a pretty good movie.
I'm just as interested to watch The Hangover 3 as I am Life of Pi.
You didn't like Hangover 2?
I actually have not seen all of Hangover 2.
Did you see the first?
Yes.
Did you like the first?
I thought it was funny.
And then that's pretty much all you needed of it?
Yeah.
I got my fill.
Then I started watching Hangover 2, and I was just like, oh my god, they got me to watch the same fucking movie twice, just called it something else.
100%.
And so then I probably only watched like a quarter of it, and Leah wanted to keep watching it, so I kept glancing back every now and then, but I wasn't paying attention to the whole thing. And now the Hangover 3's coming out. It's like, seriously, when I saw the commercial for it, I just went, oh, no. Fool me once.
Yes. That is true.
So I'm definitely not going to fucking watch that one.
Are you sure?
You're not going to get me to fucking spend another 2 hours of my life to watch the same movie.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, fuck. Are you excited about the new Superman movie? Man of Steel? I don't know. It should be
I think Superman has kind of run his course.
Yeah, that is true. He's kind of an old superhero. They've done everything with him.
I'm kind of to the point now where superhero movies can...
The thing is, though, is I'm hoping...
I
know I'm not a fucking comic book guy by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I like comic books, but there's only so many times that you can make a movie, and I mean, come on.
But the only thing is I'm hoping it's good, because Superman's kind of an epic character. But I mean, he's just so overdone that it's kind of boring. His powers, it's like, I need something a little more spicy, a little more hot. So hopefully they can reimagine it.
But see, to me, I've never really liked Superman to the fact of that is so cheating.
To have actual superpowers.
Yeah, I'm just not getting it. You can fly. You don't have to breathe air. You can shoot lasers from your eyes. You're stronger than anything known. You can fly so fucking fast you can spin the world backwards. What the fuck? And then you're going to have trouble with somebody? Like, what the hell is all this shit?
Yeah, like, how is Lex Luthor able... It's like God.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're omnipotent like God, why is there the devil? Why can't you just wipe him out? That's so. Who do you respect more? Like Batman because he's a real man just using technology, or Iron Man is also the same.
Yeah,
just a mortal man.
you can identify more with those kind of characters just because of the fact,
That they're real.
Like
what about Wolverine?
Even to go that far, you can identify with a guy like that because he's a guy that knows he has a past but can't find what the past is.
Dude, do you want to see that new one? They're coming out with Wolverine.
Yeah, they had one movie for him.
But they're doing like I think it was like origin story though.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one's supposed to be just exclusively. I saw the previews when I went to Oblivion.
They've had one of them
legit.
already. They've had one on Wolverine already. They called it Weapon X.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So they just keep going with this thing?
Well, he's a guy that I actually do. You can't really relate to the whole fact of he's a mutant and all.
Yeah.
But I mean.
But was he really a mutant per se?
Yeah.
Because wasn't he a science experiment?
No, he was a mutant that had healing powers, and the reason that he was a science experiment is because anybody else would die if they had metal poured on their bones.
See, I don't know origins of this guy at all.
Yeah, basically how he got his metal skeleton was they cut away his tissue, poured this molten metal on his bones, and then he would heal, as the molten metal was on there. And then the metal hardened over his bones. So it was basically, they had to find somebody like him who was advanced in healing like that so that they could actually cut everything away and it would heal back over.
That's fucked up.
So yeah, I mean, you can just identify with a little bit of the guy because he endured incredible pains throughout where he was to get where he is. And now he can't even remember where he was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a character that I can actually relate to because it's like an everyday character. But, yeah, I just can't get over that whole fascination with Superman when it's like, seriously? You've made how many movies? You could have caught all these guys in one fucking movie if you actually used your goddamn powers.
Exactly.
And how stupid are you to meet him where he wants you to... Of course he's going to have kryptonite floor. What are you, stupid? If that's the one thing that can fuck with you, of course he's going to have it. So you make him meet you.
Is there an anti-kryptonite he can wear that, like, counteracts?
Bring a lead apron. I don't care.
And then he couldn't see through himself either.
I'm just saying, the whole, premise of Superman, you're godly, yet very, 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 very weak when it comes to a stone.
Yeah, that is kind of strange. But everybody's got to have their Achilles heel. I mean, that's mythology, and comic books are just modern mythology.
But the other fun part about it is he's allergic to something that isn't even of this world.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can just run down to the store and be like, yo, I'm got a meeting with Superman in a little while. You got some kryptonite? I mean, where the fuck are you going to get it to begin with? The arch enemies of Superman seem to have a lot of it.
Yeah,
just sparingly, too.
Well, Krypton, isn't that where it's from?
Yeah.
It's
a planet that blew up, I thought.
Yeah. Is that where he's from originally?
I believe so.
Then how could it be poisonous to him?
I don't know, because the yellow sun.
It's not poisonous. It just... It takes away his power.
It makes them like mortal people.
Yeah, because that's where they're from. See, I'm not into all that. I never really got into like the mythology and why that shit works, but that's making sense.
Yeah, I just don't understand.
I never watched Superman, to tell you the truth.
I just don't understand. It doesn't float my boat.
But I think it'll be interesting. I always like to I think I've watched the one that they did like in 2006 or whatever.
On the Man of Steel?
No, that's the one that's coming out now.
Oh, really?
I think it was Superman Returns.
Yes, that's what it was.
Is the one that, with the dude that was in, the only thing I remember from is Zach and Miri make a porno. Yeah, that's what it was. Where he played the gay porn star, boyfriend of the porn star, the head quarterback, cool guy, but then he turned gay. That was Superman. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that character.
At the high school reunion?
Oh, okay.
Justin Long,
yep,
his boyfriend?
Yep,
yeah,
I remember that now.
Yeah. That's the only thing I remember from. That's sad.
I just like how Justin Long's voice in that one.
That is. Oh my! Are you Granny Pennies? Oh my God! Just watching that earlier.
Yeah, I don't know.
The favorite part of that movie is fucking the anal scene, where she shits on him.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, she frosted me like a fucking cake.
I just feel shit on. Don't ever say that around me again.
I get a kick out. That was probably the best part of that movie by far. Well, the Dutch rudder was also very clever.
Yeah, all right. You like watching Jason Mewes cock.
Man. Man, what happens?
What else are you going to look at when it's on screen?
That is true. Especially if it's on a 50-foot fucking screen. That should do it for this week's episode. As always, come the revolution.